You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
All new video from overnight shows Ian's destruction. There's high winds. They're taking off roofs in Naples, Florida. It is an absolute mess. Ian is moving closer to Georgia. We're watching its latest path as it's getting closer.
And we continue to really see what's going to happen as that storm moves into Georgia. We have a crew on Tybee Island. Let's get straight to Chesney McNeil first, though, with the very latest. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you guys. The very latest is that the storm is now down to a tropical storm. Winds at 65 miles per hour as it is set to move back over into the Atlantic Ocean, being very, very close to being offshore now. Here's the center of circulation, not as defined as it was as a hurricane, a Category 4, when it made landfall yesterday. Now starting to move a little bit further off here to the north and east, moving very slowly, but will continue to slide up to the north where it will move back out to sea and then eventually make its way up to the north where it will make landfall into South Carolina. Not for us. Now it's pleasant out there right now. Winds on the lighter side, but will begin to pick up. It will become breezy this afternoon. I think a few more clouds will move into our area as well, but it will be dry for today. We're starting off on the cool side. Grab that light sweater, the light jacket, or a hoodie even. Temperatures down into the 40s in some spots, some 50s as well, but we'll heat up this afternoon, or I should say warm up. 68 by noon, on our way to 74 for an afternoon high.
All right, thank you, Chesney. So in less than 15 minutes, Georgia will be under a state of emergency. Officials getting ready for Ian to hit the coast.
Right now, Joe Ripley is in Tybee Island with a look at preparations there. Joe?
As Tropical Storm Ian approaches the Georgia coast, we're already feeling the effects. Take a look at what the wind is doing. Strong wind gusts we're experiencing right now. The fence here on Tybee Island blowing down. You also have the trees as well whipping through this bustling wind. Businesses here are already preparing, laying down sandbags to prevent any sort of damage. Some businesses even boarding up parts of it. We're in the 11 Alive Storm Tracker's Thunder Truck, keeping you prepared every step of the way. We'll have updates throughout the day here on 11 Alive.
Joe, thank you. You guys stay safe. So state officials are gearing up to help people along the coast, and so are companies like Georgia Power.
Ariana Maniz picks up our team coverage now as the governor gets ready to head to Savannah. Ariana?
Governor Brian Kemp is headed to Savannah today as the state prepares for Tropical Storm Ian. He says there's no need to panic as state officials at every level are tracking and monitoring the storm. Governor Kemp met with emergency officials at Georgia's Emergency Operations Center in Atlanta. Kemp says GEMA teams are deploying across the state and have the assistance of the Georgia National Guard. He says the state is actively moving resources and also asking residents to do their part by staying alert and having an emergency plan in place, especially to those in the southern part of the state along the coast. The state is also ensuring that every agency is equipped and prepared to provide resources and assistance to Florida residents evacuating from Ian. Molly?
I'm Molly Oak outside Georgia Power headquarters. Inside, they're closely watching Ian's track, trying to figure out where crews need to be placed to be on standby ahead of the storm. It says the storm will be monitored from here in Atlanta and says customers can report an outage or check a repair status on Georgia Power's website. Now, with a storm this size, Georgia Power not only has crews on standby, but also expects to get help from other states. Back to you all.
Turning back to our coverage of Ian, which could bring some of those strong winds to coastal parts of Georgia like Bryan County. Families there are worried they're going to get slammed again after a devastating tornado earlier this year. Jerry Carnes in studio this morning. Now, Jerry, you talked to a man who's already worried about his kids.
He is indeed worried about his two young children in Georgia and the son who's now in Florida. Schools in Bryan County are closed today and tomorrow as that area of coastal Georgia is now under a tropical storm watch. The Driggers family and others in Bryan County feel like they are reliving a nightmare.
Nolan Driggers and his family have been through enough.
Between getting hurt at work, you know, the complications of my back surgery, the tornado, and now this, it just seems like we're constantly getting hit with something lately.
His two young daughters, 4-year-old Kinsey and 8-year-old Zoe, can't stop thinking about Hurricane Ian that's threatening to bring damaging wind and rain to their area of Georgia. They're still shaken by the horrifying experience of living through a tornado that flipped the Driggers' home upside down less than 6 months ago.
I don't even know how we survived. I can't explain it other than God saved us. Every time we have an afternoon thunderstorm, my kids, they both start crying, worrying, won't get out my arms. That's what's got me worried about this hurricane.
The April tornado came just a short time after Nolan injured his back at work. He didn't have insurance to replace his home.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Charities, including God's Pit Crew and a local gun store bought the family a completely furnished new home.
I believed in God my whole life. I've had faith, but that tornado really made me get right.
Ian could put the Driggers through it all again. Nolan isn't as worried about his home as he is his family.
Can't really afford to run out of town right now the way things are, but then again, I'm thinking I don't have a choice.
Adding to his worries, his son Nolan Jr., seen here on the right, is in Florida to help put the state back together after Ian is finished there.
Nolan and his son both work for property restoration companies. If not for his injured back, Nolan himself would be in Florida to prepare for the post-Ian cleanup job. That's a family that's been through a lot this year and more to come.
Jerry, we are thinking of them. So many people have this on their minds. We pray for all of their safety. Thank you.
I'm Chris Pallone, live in Tampa, Florida, tracking the progression of Hurricane Ian, now a tropical storm. Overnight, the storm started dumping tons of rain on central Florida, the Orlando area, seeing a lot of flash flooding as it moves out of the state. Crews will be going out in the southwest corner of the state to assess all the damage from yesterday's storm. 150-mile-an-hour winds, huge storm surge. The governors north of here have already declared states of emergency. We'll have much more on this coming up on the Today Show.
Well, this afternoon is going to be nice. Another nice one for us, folks. Temperatures right around 68 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Mix of sunny clouds as we head toward the 3 o'clock hour. You're looking at breezy conditions out there. Those northeast winds about 20 miles per hour. Gusts could be a little bit higher than that at times, but very pleasant. Down to 73 degrees by 6.
All right, there we go. Still looking good for us, but we got to keep our eyes on this tropical storm.
No way. It makes us really thankful for good weather when we see what others are going through. Ian's continuing coverage continues now on the Today Show.